organized by Government of Karnataka Department of College and Technical Education. This is session number 8 of the subject Project Management and Valuation, and the unit is Introduction to Project Management. So in this session I am going to cover the following contents: resources required for construction industry, time management, and followed by a multiple choice question test. So what are the resources required for construction industry? In the past sessions ನಾನು ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಎಲಾಬ್ರೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಒಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ನ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಎಸೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಅಂತ. ಯಾಕೆಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಡ್ ಆದಷ್ಟು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ದಿಸ್ ಒನ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್. ಸೊ it has to be completed in time, and now I am going to discuss with you what are the resources that are required for construction industry, and the resources needed for the construction industry are as follows. So these are the different resources. It starts with money. Money is the very major resource, because ನೀವು ಬೇರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ರಿಸೋರ್ಸ್ನ ನೀವು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಥವಾ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ರಿಸೋರ್ಸ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇದೆ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮನಿ. ದ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೆನ್, ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ಸ್, ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಹೈಯರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟಿವ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜಿಂಗ್ ಜಾಬ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಲೋವರ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋರೆಲ್ಲ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟಿವ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಹೈಯರ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋರ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಜನರಲ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜರ್, ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜರ್. ಸೊ ಇವ್ರನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ರಿಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಯಾಕೆ ಸೆಪರೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನಾವು ಸೇರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಅವ್ರು ತಗೊಳ್ಳುವಂತ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ದ ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಕಾರಣ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಪರ್ಸೆಂಟೇಜ್ ಆಫ್ ದ decision that is dependent on the decisions that will be taken by the management team. Also the machines and equipment, this also plays a very important role in the construction projects. So these are the 5 important resources that are required for any construction projects or any construction industry. Let us discuss in detail. The first one is money. Money, it is the first and foremost resource, where, as I told you, all the resources are dependent on this. Because ನೀವು ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ಸ್ ನ ಒಂದು ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ರೆಕ್ರೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಸ್ಯಾಲರಿ ಫಿಕ್ಸೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮನಿ. ನೀವು ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅನ್ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಡ್ ಲೇಬರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮನಿ. ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ಸ್ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಮನಿ. ಒಂದು ಮೆಷಿನರಿ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಮನಿ. So money is a very important role in any construction project. This money is usually funded by the owner, but and also in the absence of owner also, sometimes the contractor who is working in the project has to run the project with his budget also. Sometimes it happens like that. So this money plays a very important role in the any construction project. Sufficient financial arrangements should be made before starting the project. So actually ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ಈ ಸಣ್ಣ ಮನೆಗಳು ಕಟ್ಟೋದು, ಸಣ್ಣ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆಲ್ಲ ದೇ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಬೈ ಅರೇಂಜಿಂಗ್ ಫುಲ್ ಮನಿ. ಒಂದು 40% 50% ಅವರು ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲೋನ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋಣ ಹಾಗೆ ಹೀಗೆ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಇನಿಷಿಯೇಟ್ ದ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಟ್ ದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್. But in the matter of time, what happens, there may be lesser chances of availing any loan from the bank at that time. The project will be struck up. Okay. So at that moment of time, all the 3 agencies will be disturbed. Contractor will be disturbed because contractor on setup, ಏನ್ ಸೆಟಪ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ಸ್, ಮಿಷಿನರೀಸ್, ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಪವರ್ ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಡೆಪ್ಲಾಯ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾನೆ. ಪುನಃ ಸಪೋಸ್ ಈ ಬಜೆಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಪುನಃ ಅವನು ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ರಿಲೊಕೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಪುನಃ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಈ ವರ್ಕ್ ನ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಮೊಬೈಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಹೋಲ್ ಸೆಟಪ್ ನ ಬಂದು ಸೆಟಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ, ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಾಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ, ಪುನಃ ಶೆಡ್ ಗಳು ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ರೆಕ್ರೂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ವೆರಿ ಟಿಡಿಯಸ್ ಜಾಬ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನೀವು ನೋಡಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಮನೆಗಳು ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಫ್ಲೋರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಫ್ಲೋರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ there will be some savings of amount, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಫ್ಲೋರ್ ಮಾಡಿ 1 year 2 year ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಫ್ಲೋರ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ the amount will be little increase compared to when it is going to be done in monolithically in a single shot. So like that, the sufficient financial arrangements, so ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಗೆ ಬಜೆಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಬೇಕು ಅದನ್ನ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ಅರೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ದ ಓನರ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಕೆಪಬಿಲಿಟಿ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ನವ್ ಡೇಸ್ ದರ್ ಆರ್ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್, ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಒಂದು ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ದೇ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಗಿವ್ ಹೌಸಿಂಗ್ ಲೋನ್ ಅಟ್ ಅ ರೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ 10.5% to 8 to 10%. And also for any private projects like hotels irbodu, they are also funding for the projects. So the financial planning is essential for smooth cash flow and outflow to avoid delays in the planned activities. So usually the total project will be planned. That is the different activities like earthwork, PCC, footing construction, column construction, slab construction. They are planned for certain days. So when there is shortage of money for then what happens? The contractor is going to stop the job. Then that amount of time will be wasted because of non-availability of funds. That time can't be brought back again, because that amount of delay will always be there in the project, and it take some huge efforts for bringing back into it, because again you have to put more money and manpower to um, get the project onto the track. ಸೊ ಫೈನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಎಸೆನ್ಸಿ, ಸೊ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಫ್ಲೋ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್, ಸೇ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ ಆಫ್ 100 crore, 200 crore, 300 crore, ಬಿಗ್ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಫೋರ್ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ದ ಬಜೆಟ್, ದಟ್ ಯಾವ ಮಂತ್ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕೋಟಿ ಖರ್ಚಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಫೋರ್ಕಾಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಫಿನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಪ್ಲಾನಿಂಗ್ ಆರ್ ಬಜೆಟ್ ಫೋರ್ಕಾಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. So for example, here I am going to show you an Excel sheet. So this is a Excel sheet of a project, a hotel project in Bangalore. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಬಹುದು, ಇಲ್ಲೇನಿದೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ರೋ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸೀರಿಯಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಇದೆ, ದೆನ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಷನ್. ಇನ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ there are so many activities like preliminaries, civil and structural works, external facade, stone works, HVAC, electrical, plumbing work, firefighting, building management system, FAPA, CCTV, diesel generator, boiler, elevator, sewage treatment plant, like that. There are plenty of activities ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಸೆಪರೇಟ್ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಏಜೆನ್ಸಿಗಳು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಎಸ್ಟಿಮೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಇದು ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ನಾವು ಎಸ್ಟಿಮೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅದ್ರದ್ದು ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡಿದೀವಿ. ಸೇ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಇನ್ ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ಇದು. ಪ್ರಿಲಿಮಿನರೀಸ್ಗೆ 1,34,00,000, 1.34 crore. Civil and structural works 40 crore, 9 crore. This is 1.8 crores for stone works. HVAC ಗೆ 11 crore. So like that, each and every activity will be allotted with the estimate, as per the estimate. ನಂತರ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ದೆನ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಎಷ್ಟು ತಿಂಗಳು ಈ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ನ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕೋ ಆ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ತಿಂಗಳಿಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟೆಷ್ಟು ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ನಾನು ಪ್ರಪೋಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿರ್ಬೋದು ನೀವು. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಇದು ಪ್ರಪೋಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದು ಇದು ಎರಡನೇ ತಗೊಳ್ತೀನಿ, ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರಲ್ ವರ್ಕ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಏಪ್ರಿಲ್ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ? 2 ಕೋಟಿ, ಮೇಗೆ 2 ಕೋಟಿ, ಜೂನ್ಗೆ 3 ಕೋಟಿ, 4 ಕೋಟಿ, 4 ಕೋಟಿ. ಸೊ ಇದು ಆಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ಸ್ ಖರ್ಚಾಗಿರೋದು ಪ್ರತಿ ಒಂದು ಮಂತ್ಗೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ದ ಬಜೆಟ್ ಫೋರ್ಕಾಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಇದು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಬಜೆಟ್ ಫೋರ್ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಈ 2 ಕಾಲಮ್. ಸೊ ಇದು ಆಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅದು ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅಲ್ಟಿಮೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಶೀಟ್ ಈ ನೋಡಬಹುದು. ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗು ನೀವು ಸಿವಿಲ್ ವರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ನೋಡಿ ಅಪ್ ಟು ಇದು ಮುಗಿಯೋವರೆಗೂ ಬೇರೆ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೂಡ ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಇದೆ, ಖಾಲಿ ಇದೆ. ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ಓನ್ಲಿ ಕನ್ಸಲ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಫೀಸ್, ಕಾಂಟಿಜೆನ್ಸೀಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಕನ್ಸಲ್ಟೆಂಟ್ಸಿಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ದುಡ್ಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಪ್ರತಿ ತಿಂಗಳು, ಉಳಿದದೆಲ್ಲ ಖಾಲಿ. ನೋಡಿ, ಪ್ಲಂಬಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗೋದು ಯಾವ ಮಂತ್ ಇಂದ? ಸೆಪ್ಟೆಂಬರ್ ಇಂದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಇವರು ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ವಾಲ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇವರು ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಓವರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಓವರ್ ಇಟ್, ದ ವಾಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಲ್. And you can see the stone work also starting from October, 1 crore. So the like that I am going to propose the amount which is required for activity and also for specific month. So this is called as budget forecast for project. See here, the total project value is 145 crore, and after that allotting all the amount for each and every month, and for activity the total should match with this. It is 1 lakh, sorry, 145 crore rupees of project. So this is called as budget forecasting ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, or the budget forecasting, and also the cash flow. Okay, actuals ಎಷ್ಟಾಗಿದೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಲ್ಲ, so this is called as the cash flow. Okay, so based on that data, ಆ ಎಕ್ಸೆಲ್ ಶೀಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ ಡೇಟಾ, ಆ ಡೇಟಾ ಇಂದ ನನಗೆ ಸೊ ಈ ತರ ಒಂದು ಕರ್ವ್ನ ನಾನು I am going to get. Always you can see for any construction project the finance will be a S curve. Okay, so the investment or the budget starts at a lower level when you are going to put the structure, and you finish ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, amount is will be very requirement is more, because there are so many agencies that are going to enter into it. ಅಂದ್ರೆ HVAC, heat ventilation air conditioning agency entry ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಫ್ಲೋರಿಂಗ್ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಫಾಲ್ ಸೀಲಿಂಗ್ ಇಂಟೀರಿಯರ್ ವರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಪೇಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ತರ ಪ್ಲಂಬಿಂಗ್ ಫಿನಿಶಿಂಗ್ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಬಾಯ್ಲರ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಈ ತರ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್ ಸುಮಾರು ಏಜೆನ್ಸೀಸ್ ಈ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಆಗೋದ್ರಿಂದ the amount is requirement at the end of the project will be more. So this blue color line represents the budget forecast, and the pink color line represents the actuals, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಅಂತ. ಈ ಪಿಂಕ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಬ್ಲೂ ಲೈನ್ ಎರಡು ಕೂಡ ಪ್ಯಾರಲಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ಸೈಮಲ್ಟೇನಿಯಸ್ ಆಗಿ, ಅವಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರ ನಿಮಗೆ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸೇ ಇಟ್ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಆನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಗ್ರಾಫ್. So this is called as ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು, this was the project. Okay, this was the project consisting of 145 crores, and for constructing it we are spending 40 crores for only civil and structural works. Okay, so next men, the second most important resource other than is men, because there is always the management people say the most important resource that can be important for any industry and specifically for a construction organization is men ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಮೆನ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡುವಂತ the work labors, skilled and unskilled labors, the barbenders, the shuttering people, and all those include men, and even the engineers also men. Handling them is very important, because we have so many industries, we have seen so many industries in the history. Okay, Mysore paper mills ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಭಾರತ್ ವಿಶ್ವೇಶ್ವರಯ್ಯ ಸ್ಟೀಲ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಏರನ್ ಲಿಮಿಟೆಡ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, BSNL ಇರ್ಬೋದು. So lot of companies are getting locked out for so many reasons, and this may also be a good reason. ಅಂದ್ರೆ manpower resource. Okay, the manpower is should work hard and should work dedicated, and they has to be committed to the job. Okay, then only the company and industry can make profit. So for successful completion of any projects, both skilled and unskilled manpower is required. Okay, so you can see unskilled labor ಅಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಮೈಂಡ್ ಬರೋದು ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, they are not well educated, they are used for unskilled works. Okay, so here you can see the persons are excavating the soil for the casting of foundations. So this is unskilled labors, and here an excavator operator is lifting the earth to the tipper, so this is also a manpower resource. And here the person is spraying anti-termite into the ground so that avoiding the anti-termites to catch above the ground level. Here a carpenter is setting up footing sites for centering of footing. Here the carpenter is putting the column box. Here he is checking the level of the shattered slabs. The barbender, very important, the is bending the reinforcement, making stirrups and concreting during progress of concrete. Okay, here a person is putting vibrator. He may be the mason. Usually, mason will be handling this equipment, and the pipeline concreting is being done, and he is the engineer. Actually, the one person who will wear the white helmet is called as engineer, and yellow helmet is called as or unskilled or skilled labor. Like that, there are different notations here. A person mason is constructing brick masonry. Here, the plastering mason is plastering the walls after bull fixing. Here, the flooring mason is putting the flooring, and polisher is polishing it. The painter is painting the walls. Carpenter fixing the doors and windows. So like that. So ಏನೇನ್ ತೋರಿಸಿದ್ದೀನಿ these are all are the manpower. They are entering into the project at different stages. In the initial stages, you will be requiring shuttering, bar carpenter, barbenders, and masons. And after completing the structure, then masonry masons will be required. Then plastering, flooring, and painting agency. Different agencies, different men will be introduced into the site. And here you can see this is called as vacuum dewatered flooring for parking and for driveways. And here the roller is operating the roller for compacting the earth, and a paving machine for constructing of roads where bituminous roads. So like that, these are the different men's as were seen as workers that as used to as a resource. Now, men is not only limited to those workers, even the site team and also the consultant team is also the come under the men's resources. Say, for example, the supervisors, the quality control engineers, the planning engineers, the quantity surveyors. See, the surveyor, ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ the surveyor's main job is to first he will come into the ground and here he is going to hold the footing layout ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಒಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ ಆ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಫುಟಿಂಗ್ ಲೇಔಟ್ ಅಥವಾ ಕಾಲಮ್ ಲೇಔಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಆ ಫುಟಿಂಗ್ ಲೇಔಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಫುಟಿಂಗ್ ನಾವು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಗ್ರಿಡ್ ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಗ್ರಿಡ್ ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ರೆಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡು that job is surveyor. Okay, if he is doing some kind of mistake, then the total coming up of building is will be mistake. Because in my experience I can say, so ಏನಾಗಿತ್ತು, there was a tape, okay, metal tape. Actually ಈ construction sites ಅಲ್ಲಿ there is one disease, always the tape will be torn off. ಈ 1 0 ಮೀಟರ್ ಇಂದ ಇರಲ್ಲ, 1 ಮೀಟರ್ 1.5 ಮೀಟರ್ ಇಂದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಟೇಪ್. ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಮಾರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಅವರು ನೋಟಿಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಬಟ್ ಅವತ್ತೊಂದ್ ದಿನ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಮರ್ತ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೆಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡ್ ವಾಲ್ ಇಂದ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಇಷ್ಟು ಮೀಟರ್ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ 10 ಮೀಟರ್ ಇರ್ಬೇಕಿತ್ತು, ಬಟ್ ಇದು ಟೇಪ್ ಕಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. 1 ಮೀಟರ್ಗೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 11 ಮೀಟರ್ಗೆ ಅವನು ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಿತ್ತು, ಅವಾಗ 10 ಮೀಟರ್ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು. ಇವರು ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮರ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಹಾಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಸೆಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ, ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಟೇಪ್ ಹೊರದೋಗಿದೆ. ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಬೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಂದ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಈ BBMP ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಯಾವುದೇ ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಷನ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ದೊಡ್ಡ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಬೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಚೆಕ್ ದ ಸೆಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್, ಹೌ ಮಚ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್. So there actually he got caught, and after doing the root analysis, it was the problem that the tape was torn. So the surveyor's job is very important while doing a job. And architect is a person who is going to prepare the architectural plans. ಈಗ ಅವ್ರು ಕೊಡೋಂಥ ಆರ್ಕಿಟೆಕ್ಚರಲ್ ಪ್ಲಾನ್ಸ್ ರಿವೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಡ್ರಾಯಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಲ್ಯಾಗ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅಂಡ್ ಅವರು ಇನ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಸಬ್ಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಡ್ರಾಯಿಂಗ್ಸ್. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಡ್ರಾಯಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಒಂದು 20-25 ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ಗೆ ಒಂದೇ ಸಲ ನಿಮಗೆ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಬೈ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಬೈ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಇನ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಡೆಲಿವರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಎನಿ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ಸ್. ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಎಲಿವೇಶನ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೂಡ ಮಿಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು. And then quality control engineer, any material that is coming into the site has to be tested, okay, and proper records has to be maintained. Because before handing over, after ella complete, after the total building is finished, when you are going for an handover, these reports there will be an auditing will be done, and these reports will be very important for commissioning of the project. Okay, so because there are so many this one problems has been raised up in Bangalore. You can see ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ಸ್ ಫೇಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೊಲ್ಯಾಪ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಆ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ದೀಸ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಫ್ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಯು. ಸೊ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ಸ್ ರೋಲ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ಎವ್ರಿ ಕಾಂಕ್ರೀಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಚಿಂಗ್ ಏನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಅವರು ಕಂಪಲ್ಸರಿ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಸಮ್ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಕ್ಯೂಬ್ ನ ತಗೊಂಬಂದು ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಬಟ್ ಅದನ್ನ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಡೇಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, 7 days ಮತ್ತೆ 28 days. 28 days ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಬಂತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ 28 M25 ಇದ್ರೆ ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ 25 ಬರಲೇಬೇಕು ಕಂಪ್ರೆಸಿವ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್. ಬರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, so like that there are so many consequences. These type of quality concepts I am going to discuss with you in the third unit. Okay, so like that the men is a very important resource that is required for successful completion of any project, and they are the actually the pillars for any organization. If they are doing a good job, then the company will be having a very high profitable side, and it will be running in a very good condition. So next is materials. So materials are the physical resources which provide shape to the design project. So for any construction work, large quantities of different materials are required, and they should be made available in time. So now we are going to prepare a schedule. So like that, what I showed you, the cost overflow, sorry, the cash flow. In the same manner, materials will also be created. How much aggregates are required for this month? What are the different materials? HVAC ಗೆ ಯಾವ material ಬೇಕು, plumbing ಗೆ what are the different materials required? In the schedule, every day or every month I am going to put the requirement of materials and then the amount, because material schedule is created because the material has to be in sight in advance, because every day there will be 250 300 people coming to the site, and you have to as an engineer show them the work. If there is no material being planned, then there will be idling of labors, which is a loss to the organization. So managing of materials is also very important. Usually purchase manager will be the head of this material division. All materials should be supplied according to the required specifications. Materials such as stones, bricks, steel, cement, aggregates fall in this category. So the materials ಏನ್ supply ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, because it has to match with the your specifications in bill of quantities prepare ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ. Say for example, if you are going for any steel, Fe 500 ಹೇಳಿರ್ಬೋದು steel, the pro yield strength of steel, then you have to carefully observe that Fe 500 steel has been in the site. Sometimes what happens, regularly people will be buying Fe 415, okay, and about the diameter of the bars ಇರ್ಬೋದು. When you are going to purchase concrete from a ready mix, about the strength, you have to check the batching sheet at the site whether the ordered grade of concrete and the supplied grade of concrete is matched, because once the material is put into the structure, it is very impossible to remove it. Okay, lot of manpower money will be waste if you are going for demolition. That's why while putting concrete, you have to be very careful about the grades of concrete. So in this manner, the managing of material is very much important. And the basic materials are cement and natural sand and manufactured sands. Today we are in a very very scarce situation of the natural fine aggregate, and it has been completely replaced with manufactured sand. Coarse aggregates for production of concrete. There are different sizes. Starts with 63 for railways, 40 for plain cement concrete, bed concrete, 20 and 10 for slabs. Okay. So these are nowadays there is no concrete that is being produced without it, because if you are going to purchase concrete from ready mix plants, they are going to come. It may take 20-25 minutes to reach into your site, because your setting time of concrete is 20 minutes. So in order to make the setting time late, I am going to put the admixtures that may be super plasticizer, retarder, for increasing the setting time of the concrete. And also, if you are going to construct a high-rise structures, you want your concrete to be pumped through a pipeline. Okay, so it has to be flowable like a liquid, and at the same time you require higher strength also. So slump ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರಬೇಕು, slump ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರಬೇಕು. Okay, The slump should be high, that is collapsible slump almost you require, and at the same time strength also should be maintained. So in that situation, these materials are going to induce that properties very well. Steel, there are two types of steel: the TMT steel bars for reinforcement concrete, structural steel for when you're going for industrial structures or any sheet roofing. Shuttering, plywood shuttering. Earlier days we were using steel shuttering. It has been replaced with plywood. Now there is a one new kind of shuttering that is called Maven shuttering, which is being used. And if you are not going for any walls for partitions, then there is one modern method of constructing the walls that is called as drywall technology, where you are going to drive the aluminum framework from slab to the floor. Then you are going to fix up with the boards. The boards may be of different types: fiber boards, gypsum boards, and acoustic materials for absorbing the sound if it is being used in cinema theaters or shopping malls. Wall panels, flooring material variations are very very large: vitrified tile flooring, granite flooring, ceramic tile flooring, and construction materials flooring, that is wooden flooring, polyvinyl flooring. So like that, there are plenty of flooring materials also. Construction materials such as painting, interior emulsified paint and exterior emulsion paint, wall putty, wall primer. So when you're going for painting, first a coat of primer will be applied, then putty will be applied, and then paint is applied. So this is one of the modern method of waterproofing called as bitumen waterproofing. Nowadays it is being very popular. And the one with other photo, this is acrylic based polymer coating. So actually acrylics are nothing but polymers, and when they are going to be applied, they will act as a water resistant structure is going to act as a water resistant structure. So above this, one layer of concrete is put and finished. Again, one more layer of acrylic based emulsion is being applied. So the modern, these are also materials are required. And for road projects specifically, in order to hold the soil in the embankments, we are going for HDP, high density polyethylene, geo reinforcements, geo grids. And when there is the subgrade strength of the soil is very very weak, we are going for geo reinforcements. These are the different materials that has to be used in the construction industry, and you have been studied thoroughly in your third semester in construction technology. So I'm not going to stress upon more about the properties of materials and all. I just wanted to have a revise about the materials that were being used in the construction industry. Now after the men and materials and money, then comes the management of tools and plants. Tools and plants means the majorly the equipments nowadays. It's an automation world where the manpower has been strictly being reduced, because of human errors. The robotics and the machines are going to take the place of the humans. So in construction industry also, a lot of modern equipments have been come to improve the progress of the project, okay, and to ease the human effort. So for any construction activity, various equipments and tools are required based on the activity and depending on the type and nature of the work and the which type of project, whether it is a road project or building project or it is a dam construction project. So based on that, you are going to have a set of equipments. If you are going for buildings, okay, high-rise structures or any kind of buildings, you need earthwork excavator at the initial stage of excavation. And if you are going to encounter any rock, then you are going for blasting or compressors, rock drillers. And if you are going for superstructure, you need the concrete for lifting of concrete, you need pipeline and pumping setup. So these are the basic, and also you need tower crane for lifting the materials. And coming to road project is having a different set of equipments. You require graders, earthwork excavators, and also paving machines, and rollers. So let us have a look about the different equipments. So this is called as backhoe loader for excavating the soil. This is a tracked excavator. The difference is it is tired and it is chained. Next, this is bulldozer. This is the whenever there is any construction of any project, first you have to remove the plants. So that will be done by this bulldozer. And then for increasing the density of the soil, then I have to compact it. So this is road roller. Usually we see it is called as compactor. When you're going to prepare an embankment, then a lot of earth has to be spread. So for that purpose we are going to use this spreader. And in the construction of any bridges or any high-rise skyscrapers or high-rise projects, we are going for pile foundation. Even for Bangalore metro, we for the piers construction we have used pile foundation. So this is the pile boring machine that is used to rig the holes. And then if you go for a northeastern country, northeastern states of India, where the hills has been cut to prepare tunnels, so the tunnel cutting machine will be used. And if you are going to encounter any rock as you are going more deep, because for high skyscrapers you need 2 level, 3 level basement for parking in metro cities. There the earth of excavation will be more. So there, for breaking the rock, we are going to use this machine. And these are the concrete mixer machines that are being used. This is called as transit mixer. You can load the materials from here, and this is going to be mixing instantly in the site. And this is a conventional mixer machine. And if you want to carry the concrete from the distant plant, this is called transit mixer. There are different capacities of transit mixer that are available: 5 cubic meters, 7 cubic meter, 8 cubic meters. Continuous agitation will be done inside. And this is boom pressure concreting. When there is difficulty in reaching, in putting the pipeline, this boom pressure concreting will be done. And for road construction, again, this is called as the paving machine for distributing the bitumen evenly on the surface of the bases and subbases. And then this is modern method of road construction by concrete. A concrete road paving machine will be used, where the concrete will be poured, and using this systematic arrangement, vibration will be done. And while constructing the towers, this will help a lot. This is called as tower cranes for lifting any type of material. It may be steel or concrete or shuttering material or blocks. This tower crane will be used. It can be extended as per the progress of the structure. So these are the different materials that will be that has to be managed well, because its maintenance also is required. Its safety is also important. Okay, so the machinery management is also a very important resource for the faster execution of the projects, and its planning is also very important. And finally, coming into one more type of good resource, that is called as management, because we are having a plenty of people in the site at the order of site engineers, quality engineers, laborers, unskilled laborers, barbenders, and a proper plan also will be there. But in order to execute it, there should be good coordination between the people. There should be a good organized way of working. Okay, and also how to control them and how to coordinate them becomes a very important thing. So for that, actually, there will be a management team. They are called as managers. So if the construction has to be increased the productivity, all its activity should be more efficient through improved designs, construction methodology, manpower planning, manpower training, better tools and equipment, and ultimately better management of these factors. Because as I can say, we share with you my experience when we were constructing a tower construction at the top. We have to construct the RCC tank. Okay, so but the contractor removed the material hoist, and lifting of concrete is not at all possible. So they were put manual labors for taking of the materials, that is aggregate, cement and all. It was involving a lot of time and lot of money. Okay, so what the manager took decision is we will go for fiber reinforced plastic tanks which are easy to lift and easy to install also. So these are the different type of decisions the management team are going to take in order to cope up the project with respect to the time and money. And also frequently the engineers has to be given trainings, and even the workers also should be given training about updating their skills and about safety. Usually engineers will be trained for a 1 week or 2 week program about how to use the any softwares or how to improve the productivity with less more quality and lesser unsafe acts. So these are all the different this one visions of the management people for successful completion of the project. And also the management team will be also balancing the cost also. Okay, cost planning and any cost overruns are running, and all these liaising with the owner will always be done by the management team, and they are also important resource. Okay, so now coming to time management, we were speaking from the first session that the time is directly proportional to money. Any project has got its own time of completion and it has to be finished by that. A construction project has to be proceed efficiently and is to be completed within contract time, because in government projects there is a, or and also in private projects, the penalty will be levied onto the contractor who is not going to finish it in time. It may be at the order of 1% or 2%. So the time must be carefully planned and scheduled in advance. Okay, because this finishing of the project in time actually gives a large number of feathers on the cap of the contractor. Okay, so it has to be carefully planned and scheduled. There has to be a practical planning, and the planning should be done by a very senior engineers who are having a lot of experience. And different types of projects and different type of activities involve different duration based on the availability of manpower, machinery and the site conditions. So the construction complex projects are little complex. Large job will involve lot of activities will be there. Lot of thousands of operations will be there. So managing them is a very great task. Each task has to be performed on the project has its own requirements. As I told you, if you are going for any earthwork, it has got its own requirement of machinery, requirement of time. If the climate is not good, if there is rain, it is difficult to work. And if the water table is high, the water is going to come out, then the working is not possible. So the duration may exceed. So like that, each task has got its own requirement, and also each requires specific materials, equipment, and labors, which together determines its duration. So there are chances that more labor and less equipment, and more equipment and less labor, that are not going to be balanced. So this duration will be determined. So before going for execution of any project, the project time will be planned before. While planning that, for each and every activity, the duration will be fixed. For example, for a plastering job, I am going to fix 50 days. This 50 days will be fixed based on the availability of labor, scaffolding, that is called as equipments, availability of materials, sand and cement. So like that, the start depends on the completion of certain preceding operations. So each and every activity is dependent on the finishing of the previous activity. For example, you can do the plastering only if the block masonry or the brick masonry is completed. If the block masonry or brick masonry is delayed, plastering will also be delayed. So this logical sequences has to be planned properly in order to go for a comfortable and smoother flow of the activities. And at the same time, many tasks are independent of one another and can be carried out simultaneously. So there are plenty of activities that can be carried out simultaneously, like ಒಂದು 5ರಿಂದ 6 ಫ್ಲೋರ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ನಾನು ಮುಗಿಸೋದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆನೆ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಫ್ಲೋರ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಫ್ಲೋರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ರಿಕ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಅವ್ರ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ವರ್ಕ್. ಅಥವಾ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಕಾಲಮ್ ಕ್ಯಾಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ಕ್ಯಾಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ನಡೀತಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕಲ್ ಕಾಂಡ್ಯೂಟಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ಲಂಬಿಂಗ್ ವರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್ ಪ್ಯಾರಲಲ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್ ನ ಕೂಡ ನಾನು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರ ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ನ ಬೇಗ ಮುಗಿಸೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್ ನ ನಾನು ಪ್ಯಾರಲಲ್ ಆಗಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್ ನ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೊಸೀಡಿಂಗ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಕೇರ್ಫುಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಅಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಫಾರ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜಿಂಗ್ ದ ಟೈಮ್. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ a small example of a time scheduling chart. You can see ಒಂದು ರೆಸಿಡೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ ಒಂದು ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಹೌಸ್ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಇಷ್ಟು 152 days. ಸೊ ಇದು ಹೆಂಗ್ ಬಂತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನಾನು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಐ ಆಮ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಟೈಪ್ ದ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್. ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕವೇಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ಫೌಂಡೇಶನ್ ಇಷ್ಟು ಡೇಸ್, 3 days. ಬೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ವಾಲ್ ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ 13 days. ಕಾಂಕ್ರೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಫೌಂಡೇಶನ್ 12 days. ಕ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ 7 days. ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಪ್ ಬೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ವಾಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಡಿ ಶಟರಿಂಗ್ 2 days. So like that I am going to type all the activities of the total building and I am going to put duration. Next ಈ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಬಂದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆರೋ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಏನ್ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಇದನ್ನ ಪ್ರೊಸೀಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀನಿ. ಪ್ರೊಸೀಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅರ್ತ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆದ್ರೇನೆ ನಾನು ಬೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ವಾಲ್ ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನ ಪ್ರೊಸೀಡಿಂಗ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ, ಇದನ್ನ ಸಕ್ಸೆಸರ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀನಿ. ರೈಟ್, ನೋಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಒಂದು ಅರ್ತ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಲಿಂಕ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ foundation inspection can be started immediately after earthwork. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ ಎರಡು ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಇದೆ. ದಿಸ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಇಸ್ ಡ್ರೈನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಇಸ್ ರಫಿನ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್. ದಿಸ್ ಎರಡು ಏನಾಗ್ತಿದೆ ಆಗಸ್ಟ್ 2010 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ಯಾರಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಪ್ಯಾರಲ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್. ನೋಡಿ ಒಂದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಯಾವುದೇ ಲಿಂಕ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ ಪ್ಯಾರಲ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್. ಸೊ ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್ ಈಚ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಗಿವಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಓನ್ ಡ್ಯೂರೇಷನ್ and linking it, sequencing it, then I am going to assess the one number of days. ಇದು planned before starting the project. ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಪುನಃ ಇದನ್ನ ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಈಗ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕವೇಷನ್ ಗೆ 3 ದಿನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀವಿ, 3 ದಿನದಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಗಿದಿದ್ಯಾ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ದಿನ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಅವಾಗ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಡೇಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇದು ಆಕ್ಚುಯಲ್. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ನೀವು ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ಓನರ್ಗೆ ಕಮಿಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋದು ಏನಿದೆ 152 days, ಇದ್ರೊಳಗೇನೆ ನೀವು ಮುಗಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ನೀವು ಕ್ರಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಯಾವ್ದಿದೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೈಮ್, ಶೆಡ್ಯೂಲಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಅ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ called Microsoft Project. In Excel sheet also you can do this. So this is all about time management, and so these are the different concepts I wanted to explain to you about the resources in construction industry. Now you will answer some multiple choice. The first and foremost resource on which all other resources will be depending is option A material, option B money, option C management, and option D machine. The right answer is option B money. The amount for the total project is distributed monthly, forecasting future, and this process is called option A site management, option B billing, option C budget forecasting, and option D none of these. ಸೊ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಫ್ಯೂಚರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಮಂತ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಫೋರ್ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಬಜೆಟ್ ಫೋರ್ಕಾಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಸಿ. A report created based on the budget forecasted and the amount spent for the construction project is called option A cash overheads, option B money resourcing, option C finance allocation, and option D cash flow. The right answer is option D cash flow. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಎಷ್ಟು ಫಾರ್ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೋ ಅದ್ರ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಒಂದು ರೋ ಇನ್ಸರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಖರ್ಚಾಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ದೇರ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಮ್ಯಾಚಿಂಗ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಕಾಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸ್ಪೆಂಟ್. That report is called as cash flow. For managing the project to finish within stipulated time, dash is prepared. It is the fill in the blanks. A network sequencing of activities, material schedule, B manpower requirement, and D none of this. Because the network sequencing is the very important part in finishing the stipulated time. Material schedule and manpower requirement is also a part, but always it will be fed in already in the network sequencing of activity. So option A is the right answer. The professional who prepares the schedules for material, time, Manpower and machinery is option A, planning engineer. So planning engineer actually is going to prepare the estimates also. So he will be preparing the schedule part. Okay, we will be proposing the time schedule part majorly, project management schedule. The resources such as engineers, barbenders, unskilled labor comes under option A, management, option B, machines, option C, material, and option D, none of these. So the right answer is option D, none of this, because all those resources comes under men. The managers are going to come under management. What is the role of management in project management? Option A, to plan, organize, control, and coordinate the use of other resources to achieve the desired goal. Option B, manpower training. Option C, improved designs, construction methodology, manpower planning. And option D, all of the above. All the options are correct. The right answer is option D. Which is the most important resource of the organization? Option A, manpower. Option B, material. Option C, machine. And option D, none of these. As I always told you that manpower is the major important resource for any kind of organization. Which statement is correct? If a project should be finished within time, the sequencing of activities should be planned well. The cash flow should be uniform in the project. There should not be much variation in planned against actual. Option B, each task requires special materials, equipment, and labor which together determines its duration. And option D, all of the above. All the statements are correct, so option D is the right answer. Management team includes the following: project manager, site engineer, quality engineer, and site supervisor. The right answer is option A, project manager, because site engineer, quality engineer, and site supervisor will come under executives, and project manager will be the under the management. So thank you, one and all.